All right, what's going on, guys? It's LeetCode of the day 1518. It's called water bottles. Got this one done, and this one was basically like the LeetCode of the day from yesterday because there's nothing really smart to do. It's just like a little math problem, pretty much. Is the algorithm that we're going to be following. It's a mathy one. So, but there are some things we can do to kind of like make some sense out of it before we even start. If we read the examples here, we can see that the problem is getting smaller each uh, cycle pretty much. So that means that, I mean, we could do iteration, but we're going to try to use recursion here. So let's just start by making a function called drink. Okay. And then what does it mean to drink? Well, we start out with full water bottles and we drank all of them. And then we can return some of these bottles in for one filled up bottle, and that amount is number exchange. So here it's 3 bottles can be turned in for one full bottle, and then so these 9 empty ones become 3 filled, and then we can repeat the process, and you keep going until you basically run out of bottles, and then you return how many bottles you drank at the end. So the way we're going to tackle that is by obviously recursion. We're going to have base case first. So we're going to do, actually, we need parameters first. I'm getting ahead of myself. So what are we keeping track of? Well, we're going to keep track of how many bottles are filled. And through each iteration, if we scroll down to the next one, we can see that not every time we go through a cycle and refill, like we like trade in our bottles and exchange them, are we going to get like an even amount? We might have a little bit left over, like you see down here. So we're going to have another variable that we're keeping track of called storage. And that's just the number of bottles that aren't really used yet, because maybe in the next iteration, like here, they could be used. But yeah, back to the base case. We're going to start with if filled equals 0. So in other words, we're out of bottles that are filled up. So that means we have nothing else to drink. And our storage is less than our, what are we going to call it? Let's go num exchange, right? So if we don't have any more bottles to here's looking crazy, to exchange, then there's no point in keep going either. So we're going to return 0 because we didn't drink any bottles that round. But if we get through that, we are going to first, let's figure out how many empty bottles we have. How many we drank in that cycle. We're going to do filled plus storage. Okay. So that gives us how many bottles. We need to keep track of basically how many bottles we have left empty after we drank the filled and we combine them with the storage. Okay. And then we're going to return filled plus, because we're assuming we just drank these, right? And that's what we're returning, plus drink. And then here's where we're going to use the empty. We're going to do empty, and then we're going to get divided evenly by how many we're going to be exchanging it by. And then however we have in storage is going to be our empty modded by num exchange. Right. And then before you forget, let's just return drink. And we're going to plug in at the beginning number of bottles. And then, of course, our storage already starts at 0. Do a syntax check real quick. We're all good. And we're going to submit. All right, there we go. Great runtime, pretty decent memory. Now, the way I did it, I'm pretty sure you need a... no, you don't need you don't need to save empty here, but it makes it a little bit more readable for you guys. So we're going to do that. Obviously, like I said, you could do it iterably to solve this problem, but since this is like, I think in math it's called like a sequential problem, you can just plug in a simple formula and there is no recursion or iteration needed. I saw that in one of the solutions after I finished this. And you can do that, but I would just wouldn't suggest for memorizing like sequential formulas because that really doesn't show your programming skills. Really, it just kind of shows your math skills, which although this is a math problem, you need to be able to show both. So this is my solution that I came up with. Yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.